Hello, happy November. Okay, so I did my October tips video and I thought it would be fun to do a November tips video, and I'm recording this on daylight savings day. So I think that we should be like Arizona and like get rid of it all together, but here we are. So here are some tips for November, and I wanted to expand. So for October I said that I don't hit snooze, and then of course I said that and then like that next day I hit snooze. So I'm just gonna be really honest, sometimes that happens. I guess it was like the universe was like, Amanda, you're not perfect, and like, don't get it twisted, I know I'm not perfect, never gonna say I'm perfect, but I thought that was pretty funny. And so not hitting snooze, what typically works for me is I have a sunrise simulator alarm clock, and so it wakes me up with like this fake sunlight, but there's just something about it that like it's a gradual wake up. Like I can't do alarms, I hate alarms, like they make me grumpy, I want to like throw it across the room. That's not gonna work for me. So like a slow gradual like, oh, it's time to wake up, you know. So that wakes me up, and then if I don't wake up to the light, there is like a beeping noise, but it's not like an abrupt like, you have to get up and like turn it off and your nervous system is like activated. And then I immediately turn on lights, because I know damn well if I do not turn on lights and if I get back in bed and then I like look at my phone, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like it's gonna happen. So I turn on all the lights, and then I do, like I get back in bed and where it's all cozy, but I'm awake. And then I will look at like TikTok, but my TikTok algorithm is pretty much like dogs and babies. Like there's not anything too wild on there that's like gonna get me activated. And if there's like news or something that pops up, I will save it so I can go back to it at a later time when I am ready to process that kind of information. But yeah, so I just wanted to expand on how I don't hit snooze in the morning. But so let's do 5 more tips for November. So tip number 1, probiotic. You know, on TikTok, like I saw people were like eating like a spoonful of sauerkraut every day. I don't know how they do that, because that, like, I was eating sauerkraut for a couple days in a row, and like I think I had it one too many times and my body was like, nope, this is not gonna work out for us. So then like I like sauerkraut if I'm like in Leavenworth and I'm having a Beyond sausage and I've got sauerkraut and like some stone ground mustard, but to just eat it, to just no, that's work. I'm not doing that. But what works for me is kombucha. I love kombucha. I buy it in like the big tall, like Synergy has their big bottles, and I'll do like a cup every morning. I'll drink it on my way to work. Like I'll have water and then I'll have my coffee and then I'll drink kombucha on the way to work. And I'm telling you, probiotics are where it's at. So find what works for you. You know, some people like kimchi, some people like sauerkraut, some people like kombucha, but it's like those fermented foods. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, your gut is your second brain. So if you feel like you're, I swear it helps with like my skin. If I don't have kombucha, like I just start feeling really like I just have a lot of toxins in my body that I haven't been able to release, if you will. So that's that. Second tip, add greens. You know, add spinach, add I'm not really like a big lettuce girly. Like I like cooked greens. For some reason, like salads and that, they just don't really, I don't know, they don't sit right with me. So I'm more of like a cooked greens girl. So just add greens to your life wherever, and it'll make you feel better. And then tip number 3. I always do these like off the fly. So probiotics, greens, I would say I know there are people that shower at night, but I have to shower in the morning, okay? It is how I am able to wake up, to feel rejuvenated and refreshed. And even if you're just popping in to like get that water on your body to like cleanse off whatever energy you picked up through the night, because I don't know, sometimes I have some wild dreams and I'm like, where did that come from? And then I take a shower and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like just having that cleansing energy every morning, and just to like wake you up. I don't, like I said, I don't know how people do not shower in the morning. That doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah. And then tip number 4 would be to it's a good question, Amanda. Maybe I should have wrote down what I was going to talk about. But why would I do that? I just like to go with the flow. And maybe that's a tip, you know? Sometimes life happens and you just kind of have to roll with it. And I think that people that are able to roll with things rather than let things derail their whole entire day because it didn't go according to plan, like it's not always going to go according to plan. And I think that tip number 5 would be control the things that you can control. So that's like keeping your space clean, you know. I'm a firm believer that when your outside area is cluttered, like you are going to feel just like mentally, emotionally drained because you're not able to have this space where you can go and just relax because there's just clutter everywhere. There's mess, there's clutter. Like I was never this type of person, but I cannot sleep if there are dishes in the sink. Don't ask me what that is, but it's like I kind of have like a nighttime routine before bed where if I was kind of indecisive with trying on clothes in the morning, I didn't know what I wanted to wear, like I have a basket that I lay them all on. And, you know, most girls can relate. But every night before bed, I put those clothes away so that throughout the week, that pile doesn't get out of control. And I saw this on TikTok and people call it like a closing shift. But I love that. Like make sure there's no dishes in your sink. Make sure that you're cleaning up just little areas, you know, like, I don't know, I'm notorious for like taking off my jewelry somewhere and leaving it. So before bed, I'll put it in its spot, or hair things that are just like laying around, or I don't know. There's just something about having like a clutter-free environment that I think really does help with your mental health. So that's that. Those are my tips on the fly. And let's pull a little wisdom oracle. I like these cards. And you know, we did just go through eclipse season, and what a wild ride, right? So let's see what we get. Maybe it wants to come out. I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes, but cool. Hold place. on the floor. That's pretty typical though. Oh, okay. We got community. Love that. Let's see what it says. Okay, so belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. Okay, so this card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures and we need to know we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. All right, well, that is beautiful. And November, we will be moving into Sagittarius season towards the end of the month. So I do feel like Sagittarius energy is built a lot on community and just like what you're passionate about and what your ideals are, and finding like-minded individuals that you can connect with on that. So that is beautiful. Yeah, I hope these tips help, and I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you when I see you.